Are we live? Oh, we're live. Shoot. Okay, sorry. Good morning, everybody. Happy leap year. What's it called? Daylight savings.
Leap year. I was like, did we have 29 days in February?
I don't know. Dude, I'm exhausted. We're doing a little quick intro. We got 3 live right now. Thanks for joining us on a Sunday, and welcome to the show. I'll change it. I promise. I'll change it. I promise.
It gets funnier every time.
Good morning, Maxon Collectibles. What up, Jizzy in the house, aka Wade. Pops and Comics. What's going on? Hey, Southpaw Brad. Mention in the comments, y'all. Sunday morning, I watched the WBC yesterday. Jason, what have you been up to this morning or this weekend?
I watched a little bit of the World Baseball Classic. I caught some of the Mariners game. I also watched the Sounders lose their first game.
Did you go to the game, or you just watched it, right?
Yeah, it was in Cincinnati. They played Cincinnati. I didn't even know Cincinnati had a team.
Oh yeah, Columbus, right? There's a Columbus is pretty good. I didn't know. Yeah, you're right. I didn't know Cincinnati.
They're red and orange. Go figure. I figured they would have been. I figured they would have been black and orange like all the other Cincinnati teams.
Just the Reds. What they got? The Bungles.
Oh, I guess the Reds are red, but then the Bengals are
red,
orange and black.
What is a red anyway? Like, what's a Cincinnati Red?
I don't know. I don't know the backstory to that particular mascot. I mean, the Philadelphia Fanatic. Like, what is that thing even?
I don't know. They should have been like the Philadelphia cheese steaks.
Well, it's like I'm a huge Flyers, like the hockey team fan, Philadelphia Flyers, and they have that orange thing. I don't even know what it is.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Like it's on the cover of that Sports Illustrated that you have that has the basketball guy that you picked it up for.
Oh, yeah.
But he's like that orange mascot with it's just like a orange fuzzball with eyes. Yeah. Don't know what it is.
I was trying to get Renee to come out with us to get comic books, but I don't think we're gonna. I think we're leaving right after the show, but there's no way we're gonna get back in time by 1. He's got his kids.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go throw some actual pants on. I'm still.
I gotta put makeup on.
I know I look collected here, but I'm sweats from the t-shirt down.
Yeah, I'm wearing jeans. Anyway, again, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. We're doing. So we're running out of ideas for shows. I'm just kidding. We're not really running out of ideas for shows, but I was kind of thinking of something that I've been doing in the past month or so, as far as CGC and just discussions and kind of strategies in regards to what the market is right now and to what I'm doing as a collector / seller / kind of not trying to take advantage of people, trying to do smart moves, all that stuff. And what kind of came to me was I saw CGC's. Oh, here we go. Wade in with the knowledge. The 1869 team was named the Red Stockings after the bright red knee high socks worn by the players known then as ballasts. Huh. Interesting. Cool. Oh, Wade, Jason is not mad at you, but he says if you ever come to Seattle, come hang out with us. That's what he said. Or you're dead. Yeah. We'll take you out to Shorty's. We'll go to Rocco's. We'll do the Crocodile. We'll end up at Linda's. And then, anyway, talk about it with us on the off air. Let's see what's going on.
The rounds.
The rounds, yes. Cool. Blade Builder Mike, I have some comic books I will need to send to you in the package. As promised, here are some other books. Here's a Swordmaster #1. White Fox, Death of Doctor Strange, another key Swordmaster book. I don't know if you want this, but I just figure I throw it in. Those are like personal favorites of mine. It's not as far as spec is concerned, yeah, it's not bad spec, but they're more of like, hey, as a reader and a fan of comic books, those are for you. I will give them to you, or I'll send them out tomorrow. I'll give you tracking, all that good stuff. So thanks for showing up, my man. And yes, Shorties is a beloved Seattle staple. It moved from its original spot a block down on 2nd Avenue in Belltown. It's still there, still same vibe. It's just not as dirty as it used to be. They still have the squirt cheese you can put on hot dogs. Anyway, so yeah, so what we're gonna talk to y'all about today? Take it for what it is, but what comic books we are recommending and collectibles to submit to CGC with the quicker turnaround times, and basically putting them on eBay and all that stuff. Gonna do a little bit of self promotion here. I'll start off with Jason's eBay page real quick. Jason, you have some pretty interesting on sale. They are priced a little high, I will admit, but Jason says it's not so much he's trying to get that much for these books. He just wants to make a deal with people on eBay. So if you aren't following his eBay page, go to his Instagram. The link is in the bio, and wheel and deal. Jason's just more than happy to make a deal with people. I think this Batman 655, you could probably make a pretty good deal on that one with him. This Young Avengers number 6, perhaps. He's got a bunch of 9.8s. He's got a couple 9.6s on here. Pretty cool negative space variant there as well.
I think there's a Clayton Crane Infinity signature one in there too.
There's a Clayton Crane Infinity signature there as well. I don't know where it's at. This isn't bad here. Anyway, if you guys want to take a look at his page, go right ahead.
It's more or less like I price them higher only because like I found out, or I've discovered on eBay, usually when you price them at what they should sell at, then people try to undercut you so much that it just gets frustrating. So it's just like, I'd rather price them $50-$60 over what they're supposed to be, and then have people make offers that are within reason.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you'll price it at something and then they'll offer you like $200 less, and you're like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, wheel and deal with Jason, all that. And then I'm a little bit more crazy with my sales. I start a bunch of my sales at $1 just because I'm trying to liquidate stuff. I also do baseball cards. I'm taking offers on these kind of bigger books, but more than happy to wheel and deal, all that stuff. I don't have my link set up. It's on my Instagram, which hopefully you guys are all following both of us. But yeah, and I have a bunch of these sales I need today. But yeah, if you guys want to come through and if you win an auction from me, I'll throw in some extra books too, and just mention it like after you buy it from me so I don't forget. But yeah, just wanted to highlight that, and that kind of makes sense into regards of what we're talking about today. And yeah, I know I hate eBay too, but I'm so busy with everything in my life. It just makes things easier. A couple other things I want to highlight today. OTR, we are starting a show on, or we actually already started our show. It's going to be double streamed on YouTube. It's every Monday night, I believe at 6 o'clock. We'll if you are in the Discord, which is there's links to the Discord in the show today and in my bio. But yeah, go ahead and join us there, as well as on. Let's see here. We also are on Rumble. It's on the radar. If you guys aren't, I know there's like some controversies with Rumble and all that stuff, but they're just easier to monetize on, and it's a growing kind of field, and it's just gives us more freedom to kind of talk about what we want to talk about and swear and all that stuff. But that is why we are kind of moving there and all that. What up, Ralph? Ralph is actually in the chat. He joined me on Thursday because Jason had to work, unfortunately. Hopefully that'll change in the next coming months or so. But Ralph did join me on Thursday. We had a good time kind of opening up a box of CGC stuff and kind of going over it. I know Jason tuned in while at work. and all that. He probably didn't. I'm just kidding.
I get lunch break at 6:30, so like most of those shows are like right in my wheelhouse that I can watch them for.
I'll start them at 6:30 from this point on. Just kidding. So anyway, yeah. So thanks for joining today, Ralph, and all that stuff. We tried kind of a new layout today. I'm just kind of playing with things here and there, but if you all could do,
we should just have that picture showing and like take us out, and we'll just talk in that.
Yeah,
that
just
picture
talk. Yeah. But I'm sure you guys are all doing this. But if you could do so, that'd be great. And let's get started with the show.
You fancy.
I know. I'm on it today, man. I'm just pushing buttons and stuff. What up, Frank? Frank's in the house.
I like that everybody in the chat's getting to know each other, or like already know each other.
This is what it's all about, man. I mean, honestly, like, it's great to have people that watch the show, but it means more so that we can bring a bunch of people from like Brad's from South Carolina, and Wade, you're in Oklahoma right now. Frank, I'm not sure where you're at, but I'm sure you're not in Washington, and homie's in LA. It's just cool to talk with all these people at one time and just kind of bring your positive element to everything on a Sunday morning when you're probably like groggy. Wifey's gone to church. Trey's up in the house. What up, Trey? 405 represent. And then Renee's right down the street. So, hey Renee, if you want to drop your Discord in the chat, he's part of a Discord that's more like gamer oriented, and it's good stuff, man. I don't know half the stuff, but I just read through and watch them like have links and all that stuff, but all that stuff. Yes.
Oh, there you go. Pennsylvania.
He lived in Belltown, Pennsylvania. Oh, snap. Okay. Frank, are you a Phillies fan? Are you a Phillies fan or a Pirates fan? Let me know in the chat. If we get 20 live, we'll do a giveaway today. Otherwise, I think I'm going to hold back on giveaways just for now. It's just more of it's really annoying to have to go to the post office every other day. But just kind of want to make it worth our while and all that stuff. So, but we'll get on with the show. Again, thanks everybody for watching today. Please click like, subscribe, tell all your friends about it. Watch our previous videos. We are growing. We started this show out with like 65 subscribers. And Penn State. Oh, wait, sorry. Hate PA teams. I'm from New York. Okay, cool.
So right. Mets or Yankees.
or Giants or Jets. Anyway. Yeah, we started out with 60 subscribers when I first started doing like dumb videos and all that stuff. But now we're up to 167. So after like 2 months of doing this and just kind of BSing with my best friend from high school, I think that's pretty cool. And I get to BS with you guys, and you actually take in consideration some of our info. I think last week we had a really good show with Cooper. He was our first guest ever, who we went to high school with and all that. And he had a really good perspective on something that's killing the children that I didn't think about. And it kind of made me think about the show today. And so what we're going to be talking about today are kind of the top 5 comics to grade and flip currently, just with I never thought of street racing, but that makes sense, man. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate you. And again, if you guys are not following Southpaw Brad on YouTube, Instagram, all those good things, please do so. Southpaw Brad, I put your link in the bio, in kind of all my YouTube shows, to like a friend of the channel kind of thing. So, hopefully people find you there. What up, Phil? Phil's one of the greatest pressers in all the land. Hit up Philip Chun. He's super nice dude. His rates are really, really good, and his results are amazing. So follow him on Instagram and all that good stuff.
Yeah, see, he's got the idea. He's going where we're going afterwards.
Yeah. And then Renee talking about his Discord. It's Dragons Den 9850. Of course, man. And if you're trying to buy a home in South Carolina, hit up my boy Brad. Oh yeah, no, appreciate it. No worries, man. So yeah, so kind of going back to our results here, or kind of the topic today, top 5 comics to grade and flip, and top 4 cards that we were kind of going over. Jason, and that's kind of what I highlight our eBay sales like lately. Like, so Jason, what do you think of when you're, oh man, I think that property's hot, or like what went into your kind of thought process in subbing comic books or whatever to CGC and flipping them as you receive them back?
Well, so as you know, I'm still kind of like a CGC virgin, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything that I'm posting now is all kind of stuff that was sent in. Some you pressed, some wasn't pressed at
Mm-hmm.
all,
Yeah.
and just kind of like seeing the grading scale and what comes back what, which is why like I got a lot of not 9/8. I got
Yeah.
like a majority of, I mean, like all over
So
the
what?
board, like not terrible, but
So maybe
not.
what made you think like, oh, I'm going to submit this book versus like, I'm gonna hold off on that one?
Just kind of at that point, it was I was still kind of learning and getting back into the process. So I was, as you know, I was like kind of picking your ear a little bit and kind of seeing what I looked for. But it was more, I just kind of started correlating the trends of what was like selling, like as far as I would see what people were buying based off of what properties were coming up, mainly Marvel at that point,
Okay.
because the DC's just now kind of starting to take off and take shape, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I always look for things that like I like personally. So like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't always end up with the best cover that was the most popular. It was just like, ooh, I like that cover, and this is like the book that's selling type of deal. So it's like I buy thinking more or less like if I get stuck with it, I'm okay with that because I
Mm-hmm.
personally like it. Versus getting stuck with something that you thought you were going to sell like immediately, and then you have to sit on it for months and months and months, possibly
Yeah.
staring at a book you don't like. Like, you know.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Good to know. I mean, it's, I guess it's like not, there's no real science to it. There's no real like ideology or like algorithm. It's just kind of basic stuff that I think a lot of the guys in the chat kind of already know about, but maybe some people don't really, or they're more thinking like, well, what's a long term versus like a flip, and that's kind of what we're going into today. So here, let me get this going. So kind of already went into why we're doing the show today and what the topic was. Again, everyone, thanks for joining us. We're 17 minutes in. We'll try and go through these fairly quickly. I know you all have stuff to do with the time change and all that, and whatever. So the first book I chose, I'm probably beating this with a dead horse kind of thing, but Something is Killing the Children. We all know it's an option property. Well, now it's been assigned a writer. And from the last show that we watched, Cooper was extremely confident that this would actually make it to the big screen. I mean, there is was it Netflix is tied to this property, so they're obviously they have some issues here and there, but whatever. And then better safe than sorry. I think at this point, like I feel like people even during the pandemic maybe bought this book for $100 to $200 raw, and it's not a hard 9.8 because Boom has pretty good paper. So if you have a 9.4 at least, you're probably at least breaking even. However, seriously, dude, super groggy. Yeah, thanks, Wade. Appreciate you. However, I'm kind of like, why not? You don't have to always get the top with this book, but you might as well come through and get, pretty good price for it, right? And I know, Jason, you don't really read this book that much, but you probably know about the sales of it. What do you think of? Would you end up if you had this raw? Would you end up just making your money now with the economy and all that, or would you be like, oh, I'm gonna wait till like more press releases, a trailer, perhaps? What would you wait for?
I think mainly it depends. If you've got it, I guess depending on what you paid for the book itself and whether or not you can afford to sit on it at that point. Because I mean, sometimes you get like if you overpay for it, and it's like something that you were wanting to ship out like immediately or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably, if I got it at a good price, I'd wait until I saw like a trailer or at least like proof of it there and then sell.
Okay, and John Smith's kind of with you on that. Um, I I feel like for me, since this was such a up and down comic book and all that, and it dropped down to $450. Here's something else to think about too. With Netflix, I'm still not sold with Netflix. I don't have a Netflix account anymore, and I don't feel like any way about it. I just stopped watching stuff. So
Mhm.
I feel like I just feel like the one thing with them is you can't rely on them going past one season
Yeah.
because of money. And then investor wise, like I just don't see them doing lately a very good job of retaining customers. Um, because I mean, I don't, they're not retaining me and I don't really care. You know, I watch Stars more than I watch when I was watching Netflix. And that's kind of the reason I stopped.
Yeah.
And that is like the hit, right? The trailer hitting like Super Bowl Sunday when the Flash trailer hit, like that was the Optimus. Like that is like the time when FOMO was at the most, right? Everybody watched the Super Bowl. It was an exciting trailer with Flash, and everyone was selling the Superman Batman 8s. We were talking about it yesterday.
I
Um,
was I literally I remember like sitting there thinking like looking at the sales and being like, I'm surprised that I was expecting to see so many listings pulled and like relisted with higher prices, but like I didn't see a lot of that. It was weird.
and guess what? We're talking about this. That's perfect. That's perfect timing, Bav. But yeah, this is and this is more of you probably got this for cover price or like very close to even during the trailer, like Jason was just saying. Like um I bought this for cover when the trailer came out. I was just like, you know, I might as well just like at least read it for $8, $10 or whatever. And I feel like this is a tougher book to get in 9.8. I was telling Jason he's asking me to he came by the house yesterday and asked me to press this for him. And I said, man, I just don't feel confident in my pressing skills to press this because of the glossy cover. You can just send it or just maybe wait till that possible extra bump. I thought the trailer, she was a really cool character. Like I was like way more interested in her versus the Flash, which never really happens for me. And TOF, that's a nice one. Time of FOMO. Um, Yeah, and there's that too. For whatever reason, though, like this trailer hit me with the Flash, and it made me think, man, if so, my thought process with this one is like, okay, I feel like the Flash trailer or the Flash movie is going to be great. Like the fact that James Gunn was like, we're going to keep it with all the Ezra Miller crap in the background and kind of the times we live in now. The fact that he kept the movie tells me something crazy about how great this movie is. And Jason, you touched on you were shocked that looking at eBay sales that people weren't taking them off eBay. Um, why do you think people did not remove them off eBay
I don't know.
or
I don't
relist
know
them
if
for
they
higher?
just didn't know what they had at the time. Like if it was maybe they didn't pay enough attention to the trailer. Maybe they didn't catch her name when she said it, type of deal. Like I don't know,
Mm.
but like I said, I looked and it was still like cover price. I mean, some of them I saw some auctions immediately go up to like bids go up to $30 within the same day,
Uh-huh.
but for the most part, like yeah, you could still go out there and get this for like $5.
Yeah,
Like
and if you get 9, I want to take a look at the 9/8 right now. And I mean, this is kind of like this is proof, right? Superman, Batman number 8, CGC. And there are multiple covers of this book. I know the Michael Turner one is like the one that everyone's talking about. It's cooled off a little bit, but like I mean, if you got this in a here we go. So March 5th, that was about a week ago. So like let's just try and see if we're right in this comic book.
when I think if her character hits well in the movie, I think it'll give it a little bit more of a kick. as well, like as far as its like longevity or holding power.
Yeah, but
I
and
don't
not
think
to
it's
kind
going to
of
go like crazy high, but
so one thing to think about when people say that type of stuff, how many times has a movie come out and a character hits, which in my opinion, America Chavez did a really good job in Doctor Strange, and the book does this, right? So we're kind of in the conversation of, we're not waiting for more news to come. We're like today, kind of like, what are we submitting today? And then as soon as we get it, we're selling it. That's kind of like the subject of today, versus like submitting books and then holding and then waiting for like the trailer to hit or whatever. And we can say that for another show. That's a good point too. And that, again, it's not where and that's the risk of holding, right? This is more of like we need to jump on a little bit of those of the fat left on the bone or meat on the bone to kind of get going. So this is, I might have missed this one, and this is kind of a harder one, but it just made me think Super Mario Brothers #1 coming out. The trailer came out, yes, and again, the kind of whole like, trailer comes out, that's when you're supposed to sell and get the most like bang for your buck. I still think if you got this book either during the pandemic or you found it in a dollar bin because it was in dollar bins for like ever, press this bad boy. Don't pre-screen it. Just get a grade on it, because this hits so many different genres and age groups. Like 50-year-olds played Super Mario Brothers. You and I played Super Mario Brothers at one time. Little kids are like, are you going to go see the Super Mario Brothers movie? Both sets of kids from my sisters and my fiance's family have asked me the same thing. So this is almost a no-brainer. And if Wade probably rolling in them Super Mario boots that he won or got, or I can't remember if Wade got those or not, but I know Ralph did. I think Ralph hit on them, but
well, they had like Red Wing boots, I think.
Yeah, they did like a thing.
A Super Mario Brothers work boot.
Yeah, that's freaking hilarious. That's awesome. But like, yeah. So if you submit this like on Monday and gets in line on Wednesday, you can have it back by the following week. The movie hasn't come out yet, so you don't run into that whole like, oh shoot, the movie came out and the FOMO has kind of died down. You probably have a couple weeks until the FOMO doesn't die down on this one. What do you think about this one, Jason?
At first when I heard that they were doing a Super Mario Brothers like animated movie, I was kind of like,
Yeah,
like, I don't know. Like, it could be good or bad. The cast, I think they did a good job with that. Like, I like Jack Black as Bowser. I'm still not super sold on the Chris Pratt thing, because it's like you literally have like it's not like you have an actor playing him. So it's like you had the opportunity to use the same guy who's done the voice for Mario in all the games for like ever, and you chose to just like dump a bunch of money on Chris Pratt. It's like, his accent kind of bugs me in the game in it, because it's just like, I don't know. I think that's going to be a hard part for me to get over.
I mean, what do you think about getting this book and subbing it and selling it prior to the movie coming out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would probably, if I could find it for a good price and get it in, I would do that for sure.
Yeah.
It's a relatively easy flip.
Right. And you're probably most likely going to get money for it because there's more eyes on it right now versus like last December or something. Kind of whatever.
And it's pretty low risk too.
Exactly. And that's what we're trying to kind of convey here. These properties are a little more, you're not really taking a chance on these ones. These are more like, I would say blue chippers, but just like currently, like not FOMO so much, but more of like current state of affairs. These are books that you should definitely, get some, there's still meat left on the bone. There's more eyes on it now. People are like, it's a good property. This one was kind of different. I gotta go 50-50 with this one because it's kind of a random one. I bet people really aren't. This almost might be a spec deal, but I've been watching the Flash movie or Flash show, and this is kind of what got me excited about this one. There is a little bit of underhanging like risk on this one, though. This is why I put this the fourth one. Exactly, Joe, and which is why I'm like, man, if there's any ever a peak in Mario versus like pandemic and nostalgia, like this is another the movie gives another reason to like, put it out there and flip this book. But no, I really, even if there's a sequel to Super Mario, it's not like it's Last of Us where people are kind of waiting for the next episode to come out. It's a movie. So it's like once word of mouth kind of goes and like hopefully it hits. If it doesn't, then that book's not gonna be worth anything, or it's not going to be worth as much. But this one is the first appearance of the Red Death. And actually, out of all of the Dark Knight's books, everyone liked Batman Who Laughs. I loved this guy. Did you ever read this series, Dark Knights, like back in 2018, 2019? I can't remember.
No, I haven't gotten to read this one yet. But now that I've got that DC subscription thing, I'm gonna like hop around and read a ton of stuff that I haven't gotten.
It's pretty cool. The Flash, the show. This is the last season of the Flash. I don't think they're continuing it. At least there's no plans to. And so that's why I think it's a little bit more risky. And anyway, I figured with this book being kind of under the radar kind of character from this run, and him and them being part of the big screen or show, I figured this be kind of there's again more eyes on this, but a quick flip. I'm not saying like grade this like now and then hold on to it. Like I'm saying like get this in as soon as you can. If you're trying to decide on what books to flip to CGC, and then sell it as soon as you get it, which is kind of what I do anyway. And yeah, definitely Super Mario will, Nintendo properties. We were talking about it the other day on OTR on Tuesday, and Trey was saying, and it made me really think for a long time, like, what are properties that like are going to stand the test of time, or just collectibles that are going to be like a longer term investment, 5 to 10 years. And I feel like Nintendo really has like a stranglehold on a lot of properties and different collectibles for the next like decade, because they hit so many age genres and backgrounds without offending or feeling an exclusivity, any of that stuff. And most importantly, they put out really good content. Everyone at Nintendo, I mean, how many freaking Zelda games are there? And Breath of the Wild is considered like the greatest Zelda game of all time, but it's like the most recent one that's come out, in the past like so many years. I just think Nintendo is almost like, it's like buying Apple, and you just buy collectibles in it and just set it and forget it. And they don't have to like create new characters. They can just make new stories from their current slate.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say too, because I was like, that Mario movie, the success of that will probably lead to either a live action or an animated Zelda movie. Like it has to. Like they'd be
yeah, dude. You heard it here first. You heard it here at Pickles Nichols.
I'm probably not the first person that said that.
Just shut up. We're trying to get viewers here, man. Damn it. Just kidding. What up, IC? I sent your books on Friday. Thank you for the giveaway stuff. IC is part of our gamer Discord that I was talking about with Renee, and she's great. She's from Canada. Is that how you say it? They got Canada, and they got poutine up there. I love poutine, especially with the corned beef. It's delicious. Right, man. And man, like I'm almost I think I don't know if I'm talking about the next slides, but like, dude, would you ever like buy like a Nintendo DS collector's edition like Zelda and just hold on to it and just to see like how much it'd be worth in like 10 years?
Maybe.
Is that too? And it's like, it's weird.
With video games, like I tend to buy them to play them. Like, and so it's like, I just feel like at some point I'd be like, fuck it, I'm just going to play it.
Yeah. but like, it's weird too. Cause like the video game market, I'm kind of dipping my toes in that too. Like people will buy like 3DS collector's edition, like 3DSs, and they'll sell them for a grip like 5-10 years later. I know it's kind of a weird thing to hold on to because it's like a solid box with like a plastic, like, machine in it essentially.
Yeah.
However, dude, we're buying like $400 comic books. So if you want to put a monetary value towards it, it's the same. You're spending the same amount of money. It's just we're paying for paper and they're paying for, and gaming collectors are paying for electronics, but same thing. It's monetary wise. I don't know, but I just it'd be so cool to open up like an OG like power pad or like have one like in the box. You know what I mean?
Track and field, baby.
Yeah, just
remember that as a kid, you would run on it until you saw your friend like beat on them like that for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, wait,
and then
what?
And then you like, push your friend over, or like you hop over you like hop over the thing, and then like it'd break a week later because like you're 90-pound kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, another one, Venom versus Carnage #2, really tough in 9.8. This guy's got a glossy cover. Do you have this book, or have you had it?
I do have a copy of this.
Do you have it graded?
I do not.
Okay.
For the same reason, I'm just like, it's like I don't know if I can do anything to this. It's like it's not a 9.8, but it's definitely like between a 9.0 and a 9.6.
Oh, okay. It's a cool cover. I mean, who did these? Your homeboy, what's his name? Clayton Crane. He did the covers on this, right? Yeah.
I believe so.
Oh, do remind me, I have a Clayton Crane Darkness cover.
Ooh.
I'll bring it. I'll show it to you. I was reading The Darkness. You remember that comic book, The Darkness?
Mm-hmm.
Jason, we've done it all wrong. It's Canadia. Canadia.
Canada. I only say that because I grew up in Canada playing hockey, so like basically all my weekends and summers were spent in Canada, like all over BC.
Real quick, guys. Jason, so Jason's like the nicest dude you ever met in your life. But I used to go to Jason's like hockey games. He played is it called Pee Wee hockey or juniors? Or you played Pee Wee or juniors hockey or junior hockey?
Well, I played like
high school.
Minors, I guess. Like it's
okay.
Like, I played from basically age 4 till I was like 19.
I know, but like when we were in high school, like what's that called?
That age group that I was in, not to offend anybody, but it's called midgets.
Okay, so midgets, right?
So 16 to 18-year-olds.
Okay, so back in the day, it was called midgets, and I was like, Jason's like, hey, you should come on a game. Like, should be like cool. I was like, all right, whatever. So I would go in, and it was like a different Jason. He was like hitting people, like talking smack, like skating like all over the place. And I was like, who the hell is this guy, dude? So if you ever meet Jason like in person, he's like the nicest dude. He's down to everything, like just that kind of guy. But do not piss him off on the hockey rink. He will kill you. And dude, do you still have the record for like fastest backward skate like at Snow King?
I don't know. Maybe
you had it for a long time though, didn't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, Jason's a badass when it comes to hockey.
That's how they stuck me on defense, was because I was the fastest skater forward usually, but I was also the fastest skater backwards. So they're just like, it's like, let's throw you back there.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
But I like to hit. And that's where I got to do that. So.
Yeah. Renee says, when are we going to Kraken's game? So we'll see. Trey, is that on right now? They played like late yesterday. I was watching the game, man. If you guys aren't watching WBC, I put it in kind of my streaming kind of deal here. Dude, I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm just excited for baseball in general, but it's so much, it's fun to watch, man. It's got that energy, that like playoff energy. It's really fun to watch if you guys are watching it. Jason, Wade has a question for you.
No.
Did you ever want to stab someone with your skate?
I did get cut open with a skate one time. I sliced my like right through my thumb here.
God.
There's a scuffle in the corner and my glove fell off, and I went to reach for my glove and felt my hand get hit by something, so I pulled it back, and then when I went to reach for my glove, I saw all this blood dripping and saw my hand, and I went straight down through the tendon. I could see the bone. Like,
Oh, okay,
I went
that's enough.
skating
All
off, and
right.
my coach is like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Get in there," and I held up my hand. And he's like, "Get off."
All right. Well, that paints a pretty picture for everybody on a Sunday morning. Our next book we're going to talk about. Like and subscribe. Thanks, guys, everybody. I really appreciate everybody coming through and chatting with us. Oh, I love Sundays with everybody. Venom versus Cards #2. So again, I was kind of saying like it's a glossy cover, all that good stuff. But the reason why I'm like, oh, should flip this now is there's more news coming out. Maybe you can wait for the trailer. I don't know. However, I know Peter Mulligan talks in. The actor did a good job. I thought you didn't see a lot of screen time on him, so I think speculators are like, I wonder if this guy's gonna have a chance. He's a tier B, maybe even C, probably closer to C list character, and it's Sony, right? So I just want people to be cognizant of like, I wouldn't buy this and try and get a 9.8 out of it. If you have it, I would grade it, get a 9.6, 9.8, and just sell it now because they're starting filming. So I don't think ASM 300 is going to really get a bump from that. I think ASM 300 gets more of a bump when there's a Todd McFarlane signing. And yeah, I just think that this is a good book to flip to CGC because of the kind of little bits and pieces of news we're getting out about the filming. And, I think some of us, like, personally,
because the character briefly made appearance in Venom 2, right? I don't remember if that was an end credit scene or if that was like just at the end of the movie.
He's in the movie for like a little bit as a detective, I believe.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of here and there. It's not really a lot of stuff.
You see the piece of symbiote drop into his eye or whatever sometime in the movie.
I can't remember. But he's named as Peter Mulligan in the movie, and so it's like, well, Peter Mulligan's toxin, so that's kind of like the next lead up to it. So yeah, there we go. And just because I think there's still meat left on the bone, the last episode comes out today. There's a second season on the slate. I can't remember a property that since this show has gone up or gone through that it's done this. I always see this and then tailor off, right? But The Last of Us is just, it's a phenomenon as far as collectibles and shows concerned. And I'm not just talking the comic book. I feel like if you have a Last of Us like sealed #1 video game, send to CGC, get a good grade out of it and sell it, make some money, and then maybe wait for the dip if you're a true collector and get back into it. D Percy, thanks for coming through. D Percy's another friend of the channel. He has some pretty cool unboxings and new comic book days. So follow him on YouTube, and he's also on our Discord. So thank you for coming through. And that's really cool, dude. I didn't know. See, this is what's great about this community is like, I don't know a lot about vinyl stuff. It's just one area that I don't really like. I like listening to it. I don't want to get into the collectible mode into like flipping vinyl. And so I haven't really gotten to the collectibles part of it, but that's really cool. That you're able to sell, vinyls for cheap. And then my thing is like, okay, get money for these, comics or these properties, and then feed them into like Jason, what would you like if you were taking our advice or whatever? And you're like, oh, I'm going to get a Last of Us seal #1, get it graded, make like, $150 and then do that over and over again. What money would you, with your profits from that, from that flip, what would you put your money into? Or put,
like,
or like,
I personally buy if I made a bunch of money off of selling these.
Yeah.
There's
it doesn't have to be like
books. There's 3 books that come to mind that I would purchase, and it depends on how much money I made, like on top.
Let's say you made like 500.
Varying 500. I do get a Saga Swamp Thing.
I knew
First John Constantine.
I knew it. Yeah, I was gonna say. So that's another thing too. Is like, there's these things that I'm highlighting, and this is, I'm not always right. We're not always right. it's you may not like these properties or not like really married to them or like have an attachment to them, but you can take advantage of it and then buy those stuff that you actually do love that's not really on like the cusp.
Yeah.
And, everyone has a price, right? So if we get three more people live, we'll do a giveaway, by the way. So
and I will say this too, as somebody who was kind of so on the Last of Us series, I thought the newest episode was phenomenal. Like I love that.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
Like for me kind of being like middle of, because I liked how it started and then I kind of middled out. And then I watched that last episode and I was like hooked the whole time. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, that was a good episode.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. You were, I would say you're hating on it, but you weren't as like enthralled with it as other people were.
Yeah, like I watched it. So it wasn't like I was disinterested. It didn't put me off. I just was like, I guess maybe that's more of what I was looking for within it is something like, I don't know why that episode was just like, whoa, all right.
Yeah, it was really intense. And Snizzle Pop, I don't know if you're in the I don't know if you're in the chat, but thanks for the sub. I appreciate your sub there. Yeah, dude, it was so intense, man. Like it's seriously like a show I wish I could watch with other people. You know, like back in the day when you're like, hey, do you want to come over on Thursday night and watch? I don't know. I'm not that I did this, but like Friends. I just think of that Thursday night, whatever. But I remember back in the day in college, dude, we used to drink 40s and watch Chappelle's Show every Sunday in like my junior year. Dude, that was a good time.
The girls from our high school, they would get together for a 90210 night. Remember that?
Yeah. Which BT Dub Shannon Doherty is going to be at the Comic-Con in Puyallup. Yeah.
SummerCon. Woo!
Woo!
I gotta find a Tiger beat to have AC Slater and Zach Morris sign.
Oh, dude, we're good. I got a couple copies now. We're good. It's hilarious. Here's another guy that I'm really highly specking on, and to show that I put my money where my mouth is. Jared Kelenic. Oh wait, that's not Jared Kelenic. Those two are not Jared Kelenic. But yes, Jared Kelenic. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. I'm messing this up. Okay, here. I'm gonna crack these cards up and send them to CG or to Beckett to get graded. I'm not doing PSA. And by the way, I'm gonna have this real quick. I'm doing a giveaway for this on Monday on OTR. So if you guys come through the show on tomorrow at 6:00 on the radar, I'm giving away this Jared Kelenic rookie card. Just an FYI. So back to the slides. So Jared Kelenic is having a spring to remember. I don't know if you guys know who Jared Kelenic is, but he is a Mariners prospect, was once a Mets prospect that we got in the Robinson Cano trade. Initially, Mets fans were displeased with this trade because he's a top 5 pick, top prospect, all that stuff. Well, he had a really good first game in 2020, I want to say. 2021. I think it was 2021. And then he fizzled out. Got sent back down, has been sent back up, sent back down, sent back up, sent back down. Shown flashes of just Nathan knows. What up, Nathan? He's had flashes of brilliance and flashes of unbrilliance, if you will. But he's had a really torrid spring. A lot of the insider kind of info is that they say the pitch clock has helped him out a lot. They're saying the shift has helped him out a bit. He's not looking to hit a home run every single at bat. He's got a shorter swing, all that stuff. And I think really the pitch clock is going to help him out. Just not thinking about stuff, you know. Jason, what do you think of Jared Kelenic and subbing him and just trying to get on that or taking advantage of that hotness he has lately?
We all know he's hitting this well because of Ichiro. And no, like it's finally like because he was basically supposed to be the Julio Rodriguez before Julio Rodriguez became Julio Rodriguez. Yeah. Like he was the name, like we got him in the trade and everybody was like, yeah, this is like the best prospect we've had in years and this, that, the other thing. And then it was like, he just was so rocky. He was like, he was with the team, and then he was down in AAA, and then he was back up, and then he was down in AAA. And it's like every time he came back up, it was like he was just kind of like right around like batting 187, 200, like somewhere in there. And it just wasn't, he wasn't as reliable. And like last year, he kind of started to have more flashes of brilliance. He got better as a fill-in player and fielder.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this spring, he's just hitting the crap out of the ball. Like I don't know what switch flipped all of a sudden, but it's just like he's finally like his potential is finally coming through. This is like holding on to like that one comic for like years and years and years, just holding on and hoping that it finally is like woo.
Yeah, dude. So I was buying those singles in December for like $5 to $6 a piece. That's how much. I know the market was kind of low. December, it's kind of an off time to do it. And dude, Sizzle Pop, thanks for joining the. Where have you been for the past weeks, man? We need everyone in the comments kills it, but like, dude, like we're right here. And I do agree with younger hitters. It's definitely an advantage to hitters, and I think it's good for baseball. People are like old school people are hating on it, but it's like I can't stay at a game for 4 hours. I just can't do it. 2.5 to 3 though, I don't mind. And it just puts more. There's more. The stats from spring training, I think the averages are up 10 points. The games are down by like a half hour, and pitching is still like ERAs aren't like crazy bad. What I think that tells you is that there's more balls in play. So it's like hitters are getting more hits, but it's not necessarily like it's not like the runs are going crazy or like the home runs are up. It's just there's more action. And I think that's what at least you and I, when we were growing up, like I loved when Ricky Henderson stole a base or like got on base because it's like, oh shoot, Ricky's gonna try and hit a, get a he's gonna try and score from first, or like he's gonna get to third. And there's more, the ball is more active versus the like strikeout home run. It's not as, I mean, everyone loves home runs, but like you gotta hit like 60 in a year, every year, to keep it going. But yeah, Jason, I love that analogy of like he's that one book that you just come to the big screen and then he finally hits. I don't know if here's the other thing about Jared Kelenic. He's 23, dude. He's so young. Like
I know we've had him like forever. I'm just like I know. Talk about him like he's a seasoned veteran. It's like, yeah, dude, he like barely just got out of like college.
Yeah. So he's 23 this year, dude. So like, and Trey, yes, I'm in love with Jared Kelenic. Yeah. Baseball's the hardest game 100% to like try and get going or whatever. But we got 19 live, dude. I need one more to do a giveaway. So,
but it's like, hey man, if you guys are gonna shorten the games, like, how about you lower the price of the tickets a little bit, man? You used to be able to sit in the center field bleachers at a Mariners game for like $7. Now it's like you want to pay that price, you got to go at like a Wednesday afternoon game against like some team that's for the century
against the Reds. Which, by the way, if you guys are specking on prospects, dude, just pick a red. I mean, that's so many damn prospects. Pick a red third baseman or shortstop. You can't go wrong.
Just put a bunch of them up on a dartboard and just throw a dart. Close your eyes.
Seriously, man, like no joke. And I was talking about this kind of earlier. So Nintendo 3DS keys. I just feel like Nintendo 3DS. So my theory here is that every collectible has nostalgia. That's the number one thing that gets people buying a book, right? Or a property. And 3DS, that age that kids play 3DSs, I don't know exactly when 3DSs came out, but I think it was early 2000s, I want to say, if anyone in the chat can knows. And this is what kind of brought me to it. Oh, that's awesome. 2005. Thank you, Mr. Smith. So if you're like a kid in 2005, like 10 to 15 years old, you're coming to that age of like you're in your 30s or you're in your mid 30s or like maybe not mid-30s because, like, well, who knows? I mean, gamers are nerds.
You're basically dying now, all right?
I mean, you're basically dying. No. But that's the generation before, like, us, like, by a decade, right? So there's 30-year-olds that have money, that are working for Microsoft, working for Apple, Facebook, Meta, whatever you want to call it. And they're like, I want to relive my 3DS days. You know, that kind of voice, you know?
Yeah. Jay.
Yeah, that guy. We should get him as a guest on our show. If you're collecting, this is like 3DS was like your childhood. And that wasn't so much for me because I don't know anything about 3DS, but like those 3DS keys, like Zelda, like Mario, Metroid, you throw them in the chat, like, you know, whatever. Those are good flips right now. I think you probably could hold on to it, but like 16,000 for an Ocarina of Time. This is always what happens with investments, right? Everyone wants to find not Ocarina of Time, they want to find number 2 because it's like Tesla.
Should have just saved my games and not played them.
Well, I mean, you would have never known, man. You know, like, it's all good.
I've played that Ocarina of Time so much, it's just like beat to the ground now.
Yeah, John Smith.
That, I mean, and Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask. There you go, John Smith. Like, name a 3DS game that you would pay. You think is going to top dollar? John Smith is like in that age range, right? Metroid for sure. You know, like, you may not hit like big money, but let's say you buy a 3DS game for, like, let's say, I don't know, $45 sealed. You get maybe a 9.4, 9.2 out of it. You know, that probably could go for more money than what you paid for, and that's a nice flip. You know, Mario Party. Oh my God, yeah, anything Zelda. See, and I was talking about this earlier, right? John Smith says, I had several 3DS consoles, and the 2DS, the standard 3DS, cost $200. Dude, what if you could have that sealed and send it off a console, right? And man, that'd be badass, dude. I would love to have a sealed freaking Super Nintendo Duck Hunt, you know, with the gun, like, just displayed. I'd freaking love that, but it's gonna cost me like hella money. Dude, NHL 94, any of those NHLs, like, I didn't even play hockey, like, ever. Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
I used to rock those ones down on Genesis.
Yeah,
those were the ones that you could just run up the score because you would, like, literally just skate down the boards, cut across the top of the circle, and shoot a slap shot, and nobody could stop it. It was like upper corner every time.
Dude, you remember in Mallrats, at the beginning of Mallrats, when he's playing hockey?
Yeah, the Hartford Whalers. He's like
Hartford, the Whale.
I scored 13 goals on the Vancouver Canucks. He's like, I'm the Hartford Whalers. Like, this only happens once in a lifetime.
And then she leaves.
Yeah.
WC versus NWO for sure.
I remember that too.
Oh, what's going on, Brad? Long time no see, man.
Blades of Steel too. I remember that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So in conclusion, we may need another moderator because Jason sucks. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Anyway, what'd you think of that list, man? Before I go into the market report. Cool. Yeah, you know what's funny is, like, it's not actually funny. I kind of get it. Like, sports games sealed don't go for much money. I would think, though, like a Griffey Jr., like, sealed, I would definitely get a 95, 96 Griffey's baseball for sure. 16 live.
Go ahead. I still remember, like, as a kid, like, they would, like, now coming to bat, Ken Griffey Jr., and it's like, hip hop hooray.
Yeah. And dude, and then it was like the year that we had, I think it was 95. It was like Junior, Buhner, Edgar, who was our first baseman that went to the Yankees? What was his name?
O'Brien?
No. Went to the Yankees.
Or Paul O'Neill, I mean?
Not Paul O'Neill. He was a right fielder.
First
he had like
Tino Martinez.
Yeah, Tino Martinez. Dude, we had the Mariners had a lineup back then, and they were all yoked. They were all like freaking huge ass.
Yeah, dudes. that was like Brett Boone steroid phase.
Brett Boone wasn't on the. I don't think Brett Boone was on the Mariners in '95 though, because he was a second baseman. And I think ours was like Luis Sojo. Shortstop was Alex Cora. Our second baseman was Vince Coleman. No, he was a right fielder. I don't know.
We have Blowers on third base.
Yeah, they kind of or Doug Strange. Remember that dude, Doug Strange?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we know our baseball. Just kidding.
The fun stuff
okay,
was how bad our bullpen always was. Like they'd be like, now bring in Bobby Ayala. It's like, oh no,
dude, remember we had the sheriff Norm Charlton,
yeah,
and his mullet, and then we had that Arthur Rhodes and the dude that had the weird wind up. What's his name? He went to the Yankees too. Anyway, whatever. I can't remember his name. All right, let's do like a little comic book market report. So Jason has a 9.8 of this on his eBay. Yeah, Edgar. He's still a Bellevue native.
it's like that.
He's a like that. So yeah, he's got a Batman 655 9.8 on his webpage on his eBay. Throw him up an offer. Maybe you guys can make a deal. But this last one sold for $260 on March 11th. And kind of random first appearance of Black Bolt. I love this book. I paid $200 for a 3.5. Oh wait, no, never mind. I paid $200 for first Inhumans, not Black Bolt. But I thought that was a decent, like, pretty good deal there. 6.0, kind of cool. Magazine market. Remember Tough Stuff, dude? It was like Beckett or Tough Stuff. Remember that thick ass freaking book, like that big?
It's like you can see it raised up from the like how much plastic raised up.
Dude, I would argue to say that Tough Stuff was a better like guide for the amount of cards they had listed for a price guide. They just had really bad articles. Like they didn't have the articles that like really got you like Beckett did. But Tough Stuff was like more. It was more in depth as far as like the price for stuff. Doug Flutie, Sports Illustrated CGC 8.0 went for $100. So if you have any Sports Illustrated, and that's not a newsstand, if you can see, that's an actual subscription. With magazines, if you guys are collecting magazines, you always want to get the newsstand versus subscription, because subscriptions for like these Sports Illustrated, Beckett's, name one, any of them, the print runs were insane, versus a newsstand where they were only on the on the stands for like a week and then they remove them and destroy them. So anyway, just little breadcrumbs for you. Graded baseball cards, sports cards in general. Luka Doncic for 9.5 Prism. If you guys are speccing on cards or like long term and like good buy-ins, like Prism's the way to go. Dude, when was the last time you bought a pack of sports cards?
Sometime before I was like 15, probably. Sometime like that long ago.
Do you ever get the like itch to buy a pack of cards anymore? Or no?
Every once in a while when I see them. I'm never like at a place where I see them readily available though, most of the time.
Okay. Yeah, I always get my butt kicked. I got one good card out of a Bowman Mega box, and I've been more in depth about them nowadays, but yeah. Oh, real quick, I want to do a share screen for a homie. If you guys aren't following Philip Lee, aka Vintage Comics and Toys, he's doing a sale today at 1:30, so in about 2 hours. It's going to be on Elite Comics 11. Whatnot's a great vehicle, and YouTube's not too bad either. I actually really enjoy their format on Elite Comics, but Phil's been a pretty good friend. He's one of two people I've actually met in person in the comic book community that I can say like I met in person. But yeah, he's a great dude, so I just want to kind of promote him. He's a great seller. You can make deals with him as well. And he has really good books, as you can see from the video there. He's got them spawns. He's got
175 or 175s. I love that cover.
If you want a Star Wars book, dude, like that's Phil's jam right there.
Yeah, he's got Star Wars for days.
Yeah, and good Star Wars. So anyway, yeah, dude. Plus, stuff came with card cheats, dude. Brad, I didn't even realize. I totally forgot. Trey, I don't know if you're listening, but that's something we should probably look into as far as like uncut Tough Stuff cards. That's really cool. The greatest, you mean Tough Stuff? I'm assuming you meant tough stuff, but I'm not sure. Manny Machado, who I think is kind of interesting. Like when he got drafted, and like him and Harper and Mike Trout were coming up, I was like really big into Manny Machado because he's the third baseman. But I think he's kind of too much of an a-hole, and he hasn't really put up the like godly numbers that Trout and Bryce Harper have put on. But I thought 347 for his refractor orange like rookie, which I believe is his rookie card. It might be I might be off. 347 though for even a second year is like pretty good. So anyway, yeah. And you know I gotta put up Final Fantasy stuff. And Jason, I mean, strategy guy, dude. I mean,
hey, whatever floats your boat.
Hey, and then have you ever seen any of these? A Nintendo Game Boy Micro Black?
It looks familiar, but I don't believe I've ever seen one in the wild. Like nobody was ever like, "Hey, you want to play this?"
Yeah, like
when I was a kid.
That's so
weird.
It looks
familiar though.
Yeah, and the weird thing too is like it's Final Fantasy Tactics, which came out like around 9 and 10, I want to say. Like they're trying new things, right?
Yeah, because that was on like one of the PlayStation formats. I don't remember if it was 1 or 2.
So that definitely could have hit our like video game playing days. But I never saw one either. And remember I worked at Toys R Us. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember Debbie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's for another show.
I wish they actually still had Toys R Us's, because I would just go there sometimes to like wander around and look at stuff. Like,
dude,
just go to the board game section, see if there's anything cool to like do. Go to the video game section, check it out. Like, wander the collectibles and stuff. See what kind of new Ninja Turtles they got. See if I can get a Usagi Yojimbo, my boy Space Alien rabbit.
Jizzy, or sorry, Wade. Have you ever seen any of these things before though? And yes, it was one of the rare games played on PlayStation, because I think people didn't really like strategy game for Final Fantasy. That's weird. So this will age you guys. So when I went to okay, 2000. Okay, cool. That's you're 100% right. When I was a kid, I would go get my Nintendo games. You had to go to the counter with a slip. And then the guy would go, you get the little slip to the dude at the counter. And he'd come in his little mystery room, go in the back of his mystery room and bring you your Castlevania #1 or what have you. And then it went into the little plastic cases that were magnetized and like all that crap. And now it's digital, but like, dude, I remember, did you ever like that feeling of getting the slip, giving it to the guy, and then him coming out with your game? Oh, there's no better feeling in the world than that. You know what I mean?
It was also like you got the highs and the lows though, because like nothing was worse than like rushing to the video store after school on Friday or something like that for something you wanted, and like having everything gone and just being like, it's like the movie you were hoping to rent, like all the the cases there, and you're like, yes, and then you pick it up and like all the copies are gone behind it. You're like, why would you do this to me?
And then you're like the next day the returns, you're like,
you're like, can you look through those things? I was like, somebody just dropped something off. You want to check that and see if it's what I wanted? Yeah, see, kids nowadays will never understand the struggle,
dude. Yes, and
like everything's so readily accessible now. It's like, it's like even describing like telephones and stuff like that. I'm like, you'll never have to understand the painstaking process of trying to get a hold of one of your friends on a friggin' landline.
Yeah, or dude, like calling a girl you have a crush on and their dad picks up the phone.
Yeah, and you're like, bye.
Like, okay, no, I don't want to get into it. I'm getting nervous. And then last but not least, crazy buys. So this isn't that crazy. I just thought I'd highlight it. We got 20 live. Okay, we're gonna do a giveaway. What's that?
A hardware satchel.
A hardware satchel. Yes, it's an Hermes Birkin rose gold hardware satchel. for all you dudes that have either, this is like, I would say like this is the ultimate way for like high luxury, like high end luxury peeps, and like they know how to do exclusivity. They know that game, you know. Only way you can get a Birkin bag at Hermes is you have to have like a rapport with them. So you have to spend hella money at Hermes, and then you're like put on like the secret waiting list, and they have tons of Birkin bags at each Hermes. There's not that many Hermeses anyway. And then when you get on that list, you have to like keep buying stuff, and then you are considered to be able to buy a Birkin bag. And these cost around $5,000, $4 to $5,000. So $5,000 for this bag it's actually a really good deal. However, to be able to buy it like as like at the store, you have to spend like 6 figures. Maybe not that much, but quite a bit of money. I did not know that, which is probably why they're so successful as well. It's all about exclusivity and what other people don't have. I would never pay $5,000 for a purse, or I would hope my fiance never does that. But I just thought it was really cool. I was reading about this gal that she flips Louis Vuitton bags. She has like a whole crap of them, and now she's making 6 figures a year selling stuff, or like basically flipping bags, kind of what we do with comic books and like, you know, cards and stuff. But anyway, and then this one for all you Magic the Gathering fans and Antiquities, I never even heard of this card, a Suchi in 10.0. It's not pristine because it's not a black, but $6,000, dude. Antiquities was like my least favorite set. That's probably why I don't know this card. But Jason, did you ever play Magic the Gathering? You didn't nerd out that bad, do you? Did you?
No, but I remember the people when I would go to see the midnight showing of Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Yeah.
Playing it like in line, dressed as like wizards and elves and stuff. I was like, damn, I didn't know Gandalf knew Magic the Gathering too. But it's like, meanwhile, I felt underdressed because I'm like, I just took a nap because I like didn't want to fall asleep in the movie, and I'm still in like my sweats that I just rolled out of bed and threw on.
Seriously,
just in case I fall back asleep in this 3-hour film.
Yeah, and Mark kind of hit it there. A 25-year nostalgia cycle. You know what's weird? It'd be interesting to find out is like Magic players that started like in 2005. Like, I wonder if they're like, oh man, it'd be cool to have a Black Lotus, but I can't play it because like restricted rules and all that, you know, tournaments or whatever. It'd be interesting to see if they like if those are the guys buying these, or if it's like dudes like our age trying to buy these that couldn't afford them or had them back at a time when whatever. So, you know what? We don't have 20 right now, but 17 is pretty good. Supreme Tamaguchi, you were hitting that up in the Discord, weren't you, Wade? Let's just do a giveaway. We had 20 at one time, and I'm not gonna lie.
What about turtles?
I like turtles.
Like Ninja Turtles?
Like, you know that meme with the little kid that I like turtles. Remember that meme?
Oh yeah.
And then the reporter's like, all right, we're going back to that.
He was like, all right, we're gonna go back over here. Actually, I do have to crack and press my Ninja Turtles 1.
Yeah, let me get that first print TMNT that I got with the 16. Yeah, let me grab that real quick. And the giveaway is going to be turtles. That will be our giveaway today. It'll be turtles. So if you type turtles in the
a live turtle.
Hi Clayton. I don't think I've seen you before. Like and subscribe if you could, man. I appreciate it. If you type turtles in the chat there, I'll put you in the giveaway. So Renee, you are the first one. Renee is hitting on all these giveaways. So he has like 3 that I need to drop off to him. Maybe we'll take a stop at Oldwood Way and drop them off. Snizzle Pop will put you in there. Jason, would you mind name them off as they go for me?
Where are you at right now in the list?
Snizzle Pop.
Okay. Then you got Southpaw Brad. Do you already got John Smith?
Southpaw Brad, John Smith. Okay.
Creed.
Okay.
Jizzy.
Clayton.
Maxin.
What?
Maxin.
Oh, okay, Maxon. Okay.
And I think that's everybody. If I missed somebody, shout it out.
All right, so we got. I'm gonna go through them, and then I'll give 8 seconds to have people enter the giveaway. Okay, we got Renee, Snizzle Pop, Southpaw, Brad, John Smith, Creed, Jizzy, Clayton, and Maxon City Collectibles. I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Turtles. I like tent turtles.
Turtle. But yeah, I got that. What is it? That 9-2
Brad.
Ninja Turtles 1 that I gotta have you crack and press. I keep forgetting about that.
Turtles 1. What?
It was that.
What?
It was the 5th print, the red wraparound cover.
Oh yeah.
But the one that I accidentally put in with my CG submissions, and it like shipped, and I never even had it touched. And it's like I got a 9-2 white pages, but I'm like staring at like 7 spine ticks that can be pressed out, and I'm just like, God damn it! Just like.
Oh, I got him. Right? No, I got you, dog. You're good. You're in there. See, you guys can see like the share, right?
I can.
Okay,
it's right
cool.
Between Dragon and Maxin.
Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, you mean on the wheel?
On the wheel.
Okay. So I'll give 10 seconds for people to type in. I don't think we have as many people in here anyway. I'm gonna shuffle this bad boy real quick. So we got 9 entries into the giveaway. I'm just gonna send like some random comic books. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Let's do this. So I'll do one more shuffle, 2 more shuffles. Okay, here we go. Renee, you're the...
There's got to be some kind of like algorithm.
Okay, I'm gonna do one more. Renee, I'm still gonna give you some stuff because I have extra stuff for you anyway. But I'm gonna remove Renee from this one, and we're gonna do one more. Just because like he must have like a monkey's paw or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be Creed. Congratulations, my man. Creed, if you could DM me on Instagram, Fredbird the Nerd. I know, seriously, man. I just can't. Creed, go ahead and email or email me, direct message me on Instagram. I will get you. Just give me your address and all that. And Clayton, thanks for subscribing. And if you could like the channel as well and go through all of our videos, that'd be awesome. We got some good information. I felt like our past couple of weeks videos gave really good info. Just to read the Swordmaster one, I think has gotten really good really good feedback from people that were just curious about
the character.
Curious about the character. And it's a long term. I mean, who doesn't like Swordmaster?
I wish they would have continued that friggin' book.
Yeah,
Marvel,
Iron Fist. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Creed, if you just hit me up on Instagram, follow myself and Pickles Nichols as well. Subscribe to our channel, like this show. Jason, do you have any closing words for this Sunday before we get going on this comic book run this morning? You have to have something. You have to say something.
I just got to change and redress my wound cover.
Wound cover
for my leg. I got to clean it up.
Oh yeah. So guys, Jason had this really cool tattoo of John Constantine Swamp Thing. I'll probably show you one of these days. I don't know. We'll see. Oh yeah. That's right. Hit me up, DM me on Instagram, give me your address, and I'll send out that stuff for you. I hope everyone has a great Sunday. Thanks again for watching. We had 20 live, which is great. Our initial show, I think we had like our mid-20s, which is great. But I really just enjoyed like the consistent viewership, and your guys' comments are like awesome. Well, I'm more than happy to take suggestions for stuff. And if you want to see more of my beautiful face and Trey's and Marcus's and Vinny and Mr. Ralph Floam, who is also in the chat somewhere. Ralph, where are you at? Oops. Come through on Monday. It's on the Radar Collectibles on Rumble and YouTube. If you don't have a Rumble account, we're gonna do live streaming tomorrow on Monday, 6 o'clock Pacific time. Again, I will be giving away this Jared Kelenic card on the show, but you have to come to the show on Monday. That's not gonna be given away on our show. It's gonna be given away on the show tomorrow. So anyway, Renee, I may swing up to Edmonds Woodway and just drop off those comic books for you. But yeah, you guys all have a good weekend, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next weekend. Happy St. Patrick's Day.